first trend for winter 2025 is faux fur jackets and coats. Is this any surprise? No, not really. I feel like there's always classic fabrics and textures that are used in the seasons, and faux fur, that is not uncommon. I've been seeing it a lot specifically with cropped jackets, which I think is really cute, but we're also seeing things like trimmed collars and cuffs or a full-size coat that's just all faux fur. I'm not gonna say that there's anything incredibly different about faux fur coats and jackets this year, but seeing it in this cropped length is something that I have been noticing a lot about this particular season. The second thing that I'm noticing about this trend this year is there's a lot of loud luxury aesthetic of very classic silhouettes. For example, like a full, almost mink looking style coat, very old Hollywood, very glamorous. But then we're also seeing the things with the fur trims and the fur cuffs, and to me that gives very early 2000s. I know right now 2009, 2007 is like the hype of the year, and I feel like this kind of style of coat really ties in to how the early 2000s is trending. One other faux fur coat variation that I'm also seeing is that like really shaggy texture. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like unbrushed dog hair or Cookie Monster. And I'm not saying that because I think that that's a bad thing. I feel like it's a very specific type of aesthetic. I say unbrushed dog with love. I really do like these style of jackets when it's done in like that bright yellow or a bright pink. It's just really fun and playful, which I love. Down jackets is our next trend, and this one, again, it's not revolutionary for winter. This is such a practical trend, but 2025 has its own take on it, and I think that the first one is really fun prints, like a gingham style, or I've even seen like a graphic of a star or a big stripe, which I think is so cute. Another variation that I have been seeing that I would love to participate in because I think that this silhouette is so cute is a puffer jacket that has a waist belt, and it gives the jacket a lot of shape. I think that that silhouette is so beautifully feminine, and especially in winter, I feel like it's kind of hard to find very feminine style coats and jackets that are also practical for the weather, but this one I think does just that. Something else with the puffer jackets that I have been noticing is very cutesy, like grandma prints. I don't know what else to describe it as because it doesn't feel grandma. It feels very like youthful and young. It's like the little dainty flowers or patchwork, but it gives like grandma energy, which honestly is so fantastic. It's kind of that romantic cottagecore type vibe. And then another variation that I have been seeing that's a little bit more rooted in the silhouette is really dramatic sleeves. So whether it's kind of that almost balloon sleeve style or really dramatic shoulders, that is also something that I have been noticing with these puffer jackets. I just want to do some honorable mentions. This one has a peplum, which I think is very fun, especially if you're into these winter type sports. A cutie pie little ski outfit. If I was into winter sports, honestly, if I was into winter sports, it would purely be for the fashion. Another one that I really love is this one. You know, I don't know which runway show it's from. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen with this photo. But the way that this down jacket is done is so elegant. It leans into that really feminine, and I'm gonna say it even though I know you guys get mad when I do, but it's the old money aesthetic. It's very classic, it's very timeless, it's very rich, it looks like wealth, and it's very well done. I love how this jacket looks. If I could find something like this, that's what I would absolutely love to wear in winter. Welcome to the super secret styling portion of today's video, which is sponsored by Cosy Island. Cosy Island is absolutely changing the game when it comes to comfortable but fashionable footwear. Each shoe is made with layers of comfort, and also with many of the styles that they feature on their website, there is an option to get a wide foot version, block heels, kitten heels, so you can customize your order to fit exactly your footwear needs. Not only is comfort one of their top priorities when designing their shoes,
shoes, but they also include sustainable and recycled materials.
Today, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys the 4 pairs of shoes that you absolutely need for this coming winter. And not to mention, you can get it all on Cosy Island's Black Friday deal, which is actually kind of a huge thing because they never do sales.
Cosy Island usually doesn't offer discounts, but Black Friday is a big exception. The deals are lasting from November 10th to December 3rd, with $40 off $199 spent, $60 off $299 spent, $80 off $399 spent, plus free shipping site-wide. Not only that, but they will have exclusive gift sets for selected products, featuring a gift box and silk eye mask at no extra cost. The gift boxes are available starting November 19th, and there are limited quantities, so grab them while they last.
I have extremely high standards for my shoes. I've kind of just gotten to the point in my life where I am fully done buying uncomfortable shoes, which is why I was so excited to take up this opportunity to do a sponsored video with Cosy Island, because that's what they are all about. All their shoes are so comfortable, but the best part is they're still so cute. I don't think there's a more timeless boot than a knee-high, kind of snug fit to your leg boot. I personally really like styling this kind of a boot with an outfit like this where it shows off my leg. But honestly, where I feel a slim fit boot really has a shining moment is the fact that it can fit under all of your pants. I really like how this just slips so perfectly underneath. I'm literally obsessed. This is so cute. Okay, I have a jacket that I want to tie into this. I just think that the brown in this jacket will look good with the top and match the shoes. But we can also dress up these boots for something a little bit more holiday. I'm gonna throw on a coat. Honestly, I could make a million more outfits with these boots. I have actually been wearing them nonstop, but we need to move on to the next pair of shoes that you absolutely need in your closet this winter. I was gonna change my outfit, but I put the shoes on before I did, just to try them on, and I am also in love with these shoes with this fit too. Something that I think is a closet essential for absolutely everyone is nude shoes. When you don't know what to wear, I think a nude shoe is the absolute perfect thing to wear. It almost gives a barefoot look, but it elongates your legs so nicely, especially when there's a little bit of a heel, a comfortable heel, might I mention. But we already saw this outfit, so let's change it up. Very successfully put that on without getting any makeup on my collar. That's okay, because we're just gonna use a scarf to hide that. Something that I also really appreciate about Cosy Island is not only is it cute, is it comfortable, but they have a focus on using sustainable and recycled materials, which is something that I am always looking for when I'm shopping. I am so in love with this outfit. These shoes, perfect. Especially for holiday looks, I think that it can be kind of hard figuring out what shoes to wear. So using a nude boot or a nude heel is a really surefire way to know that you will always have the right shoe for your outfit. Okay, so we've talked about some neutral shoe options. I want to get into some colors now. The next shoe that I think that you absolutely need in your winter wardrobe is a colored boot. I feel like it gives such personality to your outfits, especially when you are wearing something that's a little bit more casual and neutral. Having a little pop of color, I think, is always just so fun. It just helps to give a little bit more visual interest to the outfit. I also feel the same way about a dressed up neutral outfit. All right, now we're gonna move on to the final shoe that I absolutely think that you need for your wardrobe in winter 2025. A little heel with a pop of color, and what better color for winter than red? Tying in a fancier heel with a really casual outfit, I feel like is a surefire way to up level your outfit and just kind of make it look like you put a little bit more effort in than you did. These are actually probably some of the most comfortable heels, and I think that one of the reasons these are so comfortable is because it's not a true stiletto. It has a little bit of a wide angle at the end, and that is the secret to comfortable heels, and that's pretty much how all of their heels are structured. Not only is this a great little outfit for an everyday look, but these shoes will also go fantastic with all of your holiday looks too.
Another huge shout out to Cosy Island for sponsoring today's video. All of the shoes featured in this video will be linked in the description, as well as the information about their Black Friday sale. Happy shopping, everyone.
That's gonna wrap up our super secret styling portion of today's video. So anyways, back to the trends. I'm calling this next trend Glamour PJs. I have just been seeing all over my feed. Honestly, getting away with wearing pajamas as an outfit is always a goal, because how so comfortable. Some of these I think are a little bit too literal for my personal taste, but I think it's a really great idea to take inspiration from. Dolce & Gabbana's like entire show was what I'm calling Glamour PJs. It was just these bedazzled, beautiful PJs. That's it. And I really like this. Mostly for the comfort factor. Obviously, if I can get away with PJs, we're making PJs fashion, yes, please, that's what I wanna wear. I do think that in certain stylings of this, I don't like because it looks a little bit too literal, but when it's done in a way that is just like a twist and it has like a nod to PJs, but it's still out of the house outfit, that is the sweet spot for me personally with this trend. So in this particular photo, she has the sweater, she has this really nice bag and these ballet flats, and the Glamour PJs, they're sequin PJ pants, but they have that very classic pajama silhouette with the button fly and the pinstripe blue. I feel like this is so cute, and it has that right balance of nodding to this pajama trend, but still being an outfit that is like meant to be worn outside your home. I also really like this variation too, with a really comfy cardigan and then just lots of accessories. I feel like that one's also well done. And then my other favorite variation that I've been seeing of this outfit is this lace silk cami top. What makes it not look like, well, okay, it does look like pajamas. That's the whole point of it. But I feel like what gives it a really sophisticated look is the belt, is the bag, it's the accessories. So it's how it's styled is what is able to take it away from being like full on pajamas. Cause you know, if there wasn't the belt and it was just loose and oversized, obviously without the jewelry and the shoes, it, you know, would just give pajamas. I think that the key to achieving this trend right is all in the accessories. Graphic knit sweaters. This is so playful and fun. At first, I honestly wasn't a big fan of it, but then the more that I saw these, the more I absolutely fell in love with this trend. And the first thing that I was noticing with this trend specifically, it was the Ralph Lauren polo bear on the sweater. And this is a really classic sweater that they have done since forever. And for so long, I was like, it's so gimmicky. I don't really understand. But as we've gotten into the colder season, I get it. It's cute. It's darling. Something that I just think is so fun is like the sardine knitted into the sweater, or the swans knitted into the sweater. Like, it's so playful, and especially with how big sardines have been this year, I love seeing them on the sweaters. I don't know what it is. I just think it's so cute. And it's kind of one of those things where you see someone wearing and it's like, okay, if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. With also the Western aesthetic being really trending too this year, the horse knit graphics have also been something that I have also seen so much of. And not just that, but like an American flag as well. That's very Ralph Lauren polo. And that I think is just going to be a really common type sweater. That and the teddy bear are going to be really apparent throughout this season. Classic prints are also really trending for this year. Plaids, pinstripes, houndstooth, argyle, they're everywhere. I've seen it even on the puffer jackets and the ski outfits, which I think is very chic. It is very cute. I feel like it's just such a classic look, and that would probably be that, or like a really fun color would be my dream ski outfit. Okay, anyways, aside from my fantasy, let's get back to it. There's a really strong preppy influence in fashion right now, and I think that this kind of leans into that a little bit, especially with the things like plaid. That's a very classic kind of preppy print. Honestly, I don't have too many notes. I feel like you can style this in so many different ways. I've seen these prints used in a more kind of cottage core grandma aesthetic. I've seen it in more of a quiet luxury aesthetic. I've seen it in a more casual way of just layering a plaid shirt over a streetwear. So there's really lots of takes on this, but I have been noticing just a huge surge of these prints on my Pinterest feed, at least. Bright colors is probably my favorite trend that we are going to be talking about in today's video. I feel like in winter, it's so common that everyone leans really dark and really neutral, but these pastel and bright colors, I have just been seeing all over Pinterest, and it brings me so much joy, especially in winter where everyone just kind of gets sad anyways. I feel like how much fun to wear something super colorful and playful. I'm super going to lean into this trend, especially as we get deeper into winter. I feel like that is going to be my source of dopamine, is through dressing. And your take on style from this is so personal. There's so many different and fun ways to style this, more elegant and classic, more fun and youthful, more Y2K. It's definitely really high on my sewing list to make something like a winter coat in a really bright, fun color. I have a few really nice coats that I love in my closet, but they're brown or they're white, and I would love to have something in a pink or a blue. I feel like that would be such a dream. And when it comes to these colors and the types of clothes, anything under the sun, jackets, dresses, skirts, shirts, scarves, hats, accessories, any and all. And I love this one. On the topic of colors and prints, we need to talk about animal print. And it's not the normal animal prints. There's some weird ones that I've been seeing. Well, you know, maybe they're not weird, but just less common, like deer. Deer print has been trending, and I love it. I think that this print is so cute, especially coming from my inner child who was obsessed with baby deer. The deer print is actually so charming. It definitely gives into that whimsy, woodsy kind of look, but it's also really classy looking, I think, too. I really think it just kind of depends on the piece and how you style it. Another funny one that I have been seeing is pony, which is so interesting, especially this one Dior bag. This has been just, anytime I log onto Instagram, I see this bag. And I don't really know how to feel about it. I think it's kind of cute and interesting. It's definitely like a little weird, but I'm into it. Of course, cow print is still going strong. There's this one cow trench jacket that I think this thing is beautiful. This is my personal favorite take on the cow print because it's just really classy looking. I've also been noticing a lot of Dalmatian print too. Very Cruella de Vil vibes, which I think is very fun. And zebra. I feel like zebra isn't like a super uncommon animal print, but it's definitely one that I think is a little bit more different. Of course, we're also still seeing cheetah print and leopard and all of that, but I just thought that pony and deer were fun and interesting and sort of new and different. I haven't really seen too much of that, at least in my lifetime. Fringe is the next trend, and especially with the Western aesthetic really being a dominant dressing aesthetic for this year, I'm really not surprised by this. Fringe jackets along the sleeves or across the back, fringe skirts, fringe bags. It's just kind of anything and everything. Scarves, cardigans, puffer jackets, trims. I think this one's really fun. There's this one ski suit with fringe, which I think is very darling. And then this white fringe skirt I'm beyond obsessed with. It definitely has me inspired to maybe think about making something like that. I'm not totally sure, but I really do like this trend. And I feel like something kind of new that I have been seeing with this. I don't think that there's too much that's new with fringe, especially when it comes to like the fringe along the sleeve of a jacket. But I've been seeing a lot of trims with the fringe. Like this one Cult Gaia cardigan is also something I see every single time that I log on to Pinterest. And not that it's like incredibly new or out there or super different or anything, but I think it's a really nice take on fringe because it's not very Western leaning. It's just kind of a neutral tone, if that makes sense. And same with this outfit. I think that it, still captures the fringe trend, but it's like a neutral aesthetic. It's not like so heavily Western when you look at it like a suede jacket would be. Big sequins. This is something, especially last year, that was very heavily trending, especially when it came to event wear or holiday wear, New Year's, Christmas, all of that. So I'm not totally surprised that it's made its way into this year also. It's definitely done a little bit differently than it was last year. And what I think is different about it this year is it's used as kind of an accent. There's this one silver dress. This is again something I see all over Pinterest all the time, every single time I log on, but it's kind of used as like a little ombre at the bottom of the skirt, and it just kind of dissipates as it goes up. Or this gold skirt, which is a square sequin, and you know, it's still like a really large size. It's not that super tiny little sequin. And then this one top I think is so gorgeous. I would love to own this top. I have been seeing this one all over online too, and I think it is so beautiful and fun. I've also noticed sequin being woven into knits too, which I think is, you know, how appropriate for fall and winter. So definitely the larger scale sequins I've seen a lot of, but that bleeds into our next trend, which I'm just calling sparkle, 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 because it's glitter everything. Definitely smaller scale sequins, it falls into this with some of the photos that I'm showing you, but it goes beyond just these small sequins. It's embellished sweaters, embellished skirts, big crystals sewn into the garments, or little sequins on the pants, like how I showed in some of the Glamour PJs from earlier, or fully decked out rhinestone encrusted bags, or this full-on sequin bags. And this is really not incredibly shocking to me, especially because we are entering holiday season and everyone is looking for fun holiday wear. And a lot of the times that means something glamorous and sparkly and fun. And I also just kind of like to wear glamorous, sparkly, fun things all year round. So this one is one that I super love. I especially like the ones that just have embroidered kind of abstract sparkle things on them. I don't even know how to describe it. But then also this red outfit with the sequins down the skirt, or the sparkles, I don't even know, the embellishments. And oh man, I think that's so beautiful. I would love to recreate this outfit for myself somehow. I'm beyond obsessed. Lace is our next trend, and this one, it's not incredibly revolutionary. I think it was last year that long lace skirt with the big baggy t-shirt styled over top was all the rage, and that has definitely bled into this year of people using lace layers as part of their outfit, whether it is a maxi skirt or even just a full-on lace head to toe outfit. But there's a couple variations of this that I'm seeing specifically right now that I thought was worth mentioning, and it's this little mini lace slip skirt with a sweater over top. This outfit I have been seeing everywhere, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and I think it's cute. I think sometimes, again, it doesn't quite hit. I think the key to being successful, in my opinion, whatever that means, with this outfit is a really high quality silk or satin skirt with really high quality lace. Otherwise, I feel like it just gives fast fashion because this is such a trending outfit right now. I think that being really particular with the kind of materials that you are selecting if you want to buy into this trend are going to be the make or break for having this look translate into something that will be more timeless within your closet that you can rewear rather than wear a couple of times and then donate. This white outfit I feel like looks very expensive compared to this other outfit, which I feel like kind of falls flat and looks fast fashion. Something else that I think is very darling that I love are these little lace scarves. Silk scarves have been such a thing this year, which I love. It feels very classic and old Hollywood to me, so I'm so here for it. And now it's making an appearance with lace for winter as like a little layering over a trench coat, or, you know, tied around the neck, or worn as a headband, or, you know, something like that. And I think that it is so beautiful. Normally I'm not a lace person. It's not really my thing, but since seeing this specifically, I've gotten it more. I'm like, okay, I can get why people like lace. It is very dainty and pretty and frilly and fun. And I think especially using it as an added texture in winter is such a great idea, because again, like in winter, sometimes things can just feel like heavy and not super fun. And I feel like, you know, adding a lace layer gives a little bit of whimsy and femininity to your outfit, which I love. Sparkly headpieces are something that I have also been noticing everywhere. In my last trends video, which if you guys have not checked out that video yet, all of those trends are definitely still relevant. So I would highly recommend you check out that video if you like this one. And there was one thing that I talked about in that video, which was the Hannah Montana aesthetic. And also in this video, as I mentioned earlier, 2007, 2009, like those years are very dominant in fashion right now. And I think that this little sparkly headpiece is absolutely giving the energy of like Hannah Montana from 2009. Is that when it came out? When did Hannah Montana come out? I don't know. I feel like it's also kind of nodding to the 1920s too, because to me, this gives flapper vibes. And I'm noticing it in a multitude of ways, either as more of like a handkerchief and used as a bandana style headband, or a full-on beanie, or even just like jewelry too. So there's a lot of different takes on this, but headpieces in general have been something that I have been noticing so much. And I feel like this is such a fun accessory, especially for the holiday season. So I don't know if I'll participate because I don't know, head stuff looks kind of weird on me, but man, I'm gonna give it my all because I think that this is so cute. It's just a really fun, glamorous layer to your outfit. Another trend I wanted to mention is collarless. And this is just things that normally have collars that don't. This is not revolutionary. People have been making jackets and shirts without collars, you know, since forever. But I just thought that it was worth mentioning because I have been seeing a lot of it, specifically in a style like this, where it's, I don't know where this exact coat is from, but it definitely gives me Jacques Mousse energy, where it feels like collar absent, but not in a bad way, in a good way. And it looks really sleek and beautiful. I personally really like this trend because sometimes too much up by my neck gets a little claustrophobic. So especially if you're layering a scarf over top and you have, you know, a shirt or two underneath your jacket, it can kind of get a little overwhelming. Also, some of the silhouettes are a little bit more open in the collarbone, and I personally really like to show off my collarbone. I think it's like one of my strong features, and so for me personally, I really like this trend. The final trend for today's video is double shirts, and this is not revolutionary layering in the winter. What a concept. But I think that there's like a couple versions that I have really been noticing that look very this year. And the first one is two button-down shirts on top of each other. I feel like it's very classic looking. I really enjoy this. I think that it looks really pretty. It definitely gives Ralph Lauren, which has been our brand of the year. Other variations are vests, which I think would traditionally just be, you know, like a summer tank top over shirts. And I think that this is a really great way to make use of your summer wardrobe in winter, is just layering your tank tops over really any long sleeve shirt. And then one other version that I think is a little bit different, but you know, again, not fully, because people have been wearing t-shirts over their long sleeve shirts since forever, but it is something that I have been noticing is coming back, and I think that that probably has to do with a lot of the influence from the early 2000s. Anyways, that's where we're gonna wrap up today's video, you guys. Don't forget to check out Cosy Island if you are on the market for some new shoes for this winter. Girl, just saying, take advantage of this discount because it's not normally offered. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining, and until next time, bye friends.